You welcome and have robust policy debates in the department, and no doubt you have very differing views on many questions, whether it's what to do with Iran or what kind of aircraft or ships we need to build or what the quality of commissaries are on our basis. Crisis. We all agree on this committee. We all have been working hard for many years on that. Private industry is very important, but you have your own organic industrial base. Ammunition plants, arsenals, depots, that's included in everything, right? That we need to look at every possible source to address every potential choke point in our munition supply chain.
Correct, Senator. As I've said, there's only one person that was elected President of the United States.
Yeah.
And the American people elected him to make these decisions on their behalf. And if and when those decisions are made, the department is prepared to execute.
In this powerful Senate hearing, Senator Tom Cotton presses top Pentagon leaders on one of the most important responsibilities of the United States government, who makes the call when it comes to war. As tensions escalate with Iran, the question of presidential authority over military strikes takes center stage.
Thank you, Senator Shaheen. Senator Cotton.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for your testimony and, more importantly, your service. Secretary Hegseth, the president at a press gaggle just now at the White House said of strikes against Iran, to Senator Shaheen's question, I may do it, I may not do it. I mean, nobody knows what I'm going to do. You had referred to these questions as presidential level decision, is that right? And I think that's always true. Advisors advise and presidents decide. But it's your job to have contingency plans for everything that the president may or may not decide. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And no one should be surprised or scandalized that the Pentagon has lots and lots of contingency plans.
Senator, our job is to have contingency plans.
It's like in Armageddon, Billy Bob Thornton's character Truman, speaking of NASA, could have been speaking of the Pentagon. You're geniuses. You're just thinking stuff up, and you got people in another room backing them up. Is that right?
We plan.
Thank you. And although it's true in every part of the government, it's probably no more true in your department that it's a presidential level decision. This is the president's core constitutional responsibilities as the commander-in-chief. I mean, it's important what he does with labor and HUD and the rest, but as the commander-in-chief, it's the most important role he has, and therefore you're the department where you take the most direct guidance from the president. Everyone in the department has to support the president's decisions once those decisions are made, correct?
Correct, Senator. As I've said, there's only one person that was elected President of the United States.
Yeah.
And the American people elected him to make these decisions on their behalf. And if and when those decisions are made, the department is prepared to execute.
And I know that you welcome and have robust policy debates in the department, and no doubt you have very differing views on many questions, whether it's what to do with Iran or what kind of aircraft or ships we need to build or what the quality of commissaries are on our basis, and that's welcome. You need that kind of robust debate to make the right recommendations. But once the president's decision has been made on any question, that's final, right? That's your standard?
The president welcomes, I've watched it in real time, views on all issues from all aspects. But yes, once those have been represented, intelligence is represented, options represented, upsides, downsides, threats, of course, when the president makes a call as the commander-in-chief, we will execute.
Well, thank you, because I know there was some controversy earlier this year inside the department, and not everyone seemed to be on the same page that you and the president are after presidential decisions had been made, and you had to make some tough decisions there. And I commend you for those decisions. I think you did the right thing. You have to make sure that everyone stays on the same page and everyone supports presidential decisions. One decision I also want to call out, since we haven't spoken about it here, and I'm not sure we will, and I want to commend you for as well and commend your team, is the redesignation of base names for Army bases. In the summer of 2020, as a Jacobin fever swept the country during the BLM riots, it was decided to rename several Army bases. To be honest with you, I think most soldiers serving those bases didn't even know who they were named after. They just had fond recollections for decades of their time at Fort Benning or Fort Bragg or other places. And I think now you've completed the effort to redesignate those names, those bases, to the names that so many generations of soldiers served at for new American heroes. Is that right?
Cotton highlights the critical balance between advice from military experts and the final decision resting with the president, a core principle of American democracy. But the conversation doesn't stop there. Senator Cotton also wades into the highly charged debate over renaming United States military bases, a decision made during the nationwide protests of 2020. Cotton commends the Pentagon for choosing new names that honor true American heroes, like Gary Gordon, who gave his life protecting fellow soldiers during the infamous Battle of Mogadishu. And finally, with global threats rising, the senator zeroes in on the United States munitions crisis, demanding that the Pentagon use all available resources, especially America's military-run factories and arsenals, to ensure our military is never caught unprepared. It's a deep dive into military readiness, constitutional authority, and America's fight to preserve its legacy and strength.
Yes, all of the previous names for the U.S. Army installations have been returned.
Well, thank you. I think that was an inspired approach. It complies with the law. It teaches a new generation of soldiers about those who went before them, and I hope the matter is settled. I especially want to commend you for Fort Gordon, named after Gary Gordon, one of two Delta operators along with Randy Shugart, who willingly laid down their life in the Battle of Mogadishu to protect their buddies, not even in the battle at the time, and against commanders' repeated wishes until they pestered the commanders finally to let them get on the ground and protect those soldiers on the ground and laid down their life. I think that was an inspired choice. One final question. You'd said that everything needs to be on the table to address our munitions crisis. We all agree on this committee. We all have been working hard for many years on that. Private industry is very important, but you have your own organic industrial base. Ammunition plants, arsenals, depots, that's included in everything, right? That we need to look at every possible source to address every potential choke point in our munition supply chain.
Every possible source.
Thank you. General Kane, you agree with that, I presume, that our organic industrial base, especially the arsenals and ammunition plants and depots, are a solution to this problem, not a part of the problem or a relic of the past?
I do, sir, and I'm aware of your letter to the Army on that matter, which I know they're looking at.
Okay, thank you.